3 points for you, and just the way that you bounced back. What do you think here tonight?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, obviously it's a lot of games, back to back, and we knew it was going to be hard tonight against a really good team. And I think we, especially our third, I thought we played really well. And like I said, it was a hard game, and we kind of needed a bounce back after last night and got the 2 points, so that's huge.
How are you guys? I know the schedule is what it is, but how are you guys holding up physically through all this right now?
I mean, it's tough, but it's every other team is doing it too. So you're playing. Some nights you get a tired team. Some nights you're a little bit more tired. But it's a lot of games. You got to make sure you cover a lot. We don't really practice much anymore. Yeah. I don't know. Can't remember the last time we practiced. So you kind of just focus on games. And like I said, every other team is doing the same thing. So it's pretty even.
How big the grind went out there in the third? I know the second period probably didn't go the way you guys wanted, but the grind went out and get it done in the third there, just huge for your group.
Yeah, it is. I think recently we kind of find ways to win games, which is huge for us. And like I said, I feel like the second they kind of had a lot of pressure, and Big Juice was amazing in that, and he's been unreal every game. And we said after second we got to get back on the attack and take this game and find a way.
When the offensive production maybe hasn't been there for you at times this season, how do you work through that to stay engaged and to stay consistent?
Yeah, I obviously I try to produce. I try to be involved in the offensively, and at times definitely hasn't been kind of what I expect from myself, and but we just keep going. We've been winning games too, and as long as you're winning, you're fine with it. And I think it's more when it doesn't go the team's way, and you feel like you're not producing, gets frustrating. But just try to keep playing my game, and at some point you're gonna get. If you do the right things, you're going to get the points too.
A little bit better feeling, obviously.
Yeah.
Tonight, what impressed you about your group here tonight?
I think just the tenacity that we had. It's tough coming off a kind of a dud of a game yesterday. Back to back. The schedule's been really tough, and to be able to gut one out and play hard and get a win tonight on the backside of a back to back it's huge. I mean, it speaks volumes to our group and the kind of identity we have in here.
Especially just the way, like you said, to turn it around from what happened last night. Well, it wasn't the worst game last night.
Yeah.
Just to start it out that way, just to find a way against a good team, a rested team. What does that say about this group?
Everybody's pulling in the right direction. You can have some off nights and that kind of thing, and no excuses for yesterday. But we came with that mentality today, no excuses, and turn the page, and we have to have today, and we did. So it speaks volumes on our team.
You talk about the tenacity of the team, and this has been something that becomes more and more evident as this season goes on. What is contributing to that? What has kind of made that become the thing that gets you guys games like this?
I think just success. We see what creates success for us, and it's that hard, tenacious style of play. And you see the nights when we have off nights and we lose that identity a little bit. And so I think you contribute to, we see what gives us success, and that's how we have to play as a team. We're not going to be high flying offense where big rushes and trade chances. That's not the way we play. We have to be really hard to play against, and all the simple things, and do it on a consistent basis.
Speaking of that, your goal came on a play where it looked like you sort of just outworked the guy to the puck. Is that the kind of play you pride yourself on making there?
Yeah, for sure. It was just kind of Yost made a great play and just kind of a loose puck, and so trying to jump on it, and luckily got a nice shot off it. But yeah, as a player and as our line, that's kind of our identity. Play as hard as we can. Every loose puck is try to be ours.
And come out with this win after last night's game.
Yeah, it was big. We talked about on this stretch that we don't want to lose back-to-back games, and it just felt like one of those games where it was just up for grabs. Like, they pushed a little, we pushed a little. They got a power play goal, we got a power play goal. It was just one of those games where obviously a back-to-back for us. We just had to find a way in the third, and got to give our group credit. They did. We got the saves when we needed them. We got the power play goals when we needed them, and we got some nice blocks and good defensive plays at the end to shut it down. So it was a win we needed.
Nick Hague was kind of saying last night too, just a little bit off, a little bit disconnected, but we know what makes us a good team, and you guys were looking forward to bouncing back. What led to that? How do you change that?
Last night it was just sloppy. Again, I thought it was a game that could have went either way, and we didn't grab hold of it. And tonight was the same, and we found a better result. So Still some areas we need to clean up. I think we can, we understand we got to play a simplified game and get pucks in deep and turn the other team's D and go forecheck. But I still think there's some plays out there that we can execute. And it was nice to get a couple power play goals. That's been an Achilles heel the last couple games. So that can stay more consistent as well. And but for the most part, we're not giving up a ton. Besides the Edmonton game there, and that's usually a good sign. You're in games and you can find ways to win those ones.
I know you've been playing against Ovi for a long time. As you guys get later in your career, do you treasure these matchups a little bit more?
It's tough to when you're in the middle of it, but for sure. Listen, greatest goal scorer of all time. Anytime you get a chance to play against them, I've been fortunate to play against them for 18 years now, and see up close and personal a lot of times him scoring goals. So you just marvel at what he's consistently able to do each year, regardless of age. So it's pretty cool to watch still.
How would you rate your athleticism on the flip there?
That was a good pole vault. Never pole vaulted before, but as soon as I felt that stick kind of get caught in my groin and went up in the air, it was a little scary. You don't want to land on your head, but no worse for the wear.
How big is it for you guys to get Roman kind of going offensively there?
Yeah, listen, obviously he had a big game, 3 points, but I think if you look back is when things started to turn around, it's because Roman came back in the lineup. So regardless of if the points are coming there, you look at our group, there's no one running away with points on our team. It's just that's the reality of our team in terms of we need everyone, and it's a collective group effort. And again, not a high-flying offensive team. We got to play the right way to create offense, and Roman brings that element to his game. And sometimes it's getting the puck out of the zone. He's a one-man breakout. He can get it out. A calming influence on the back end, his leadership. There's so many qualities that he brings besides the points. Points are going to come, and they came today in a huge game, and we needed that. But, we're not sitting here judging his game by points. He's an anchor for us back there, and that's why I said this thing turned around when he came back in the lineup, and that goes to show the impact he has.
Bruno, is a 50-50 game going into that third period. What did you see from them, that final frame, to bring it to the next level?
Well, I thought it was pretty gutsy effort from everybody. Kind of knew you're in one on a back-to-back, a team waiting for you. Proud of the way how the team rebounded. Obviously didn't get the result last night. And tonight, a couple big power play goals. Smitty gets a big goal, and happy to see Big Juice kind of have the game he had. Kind of let us hang around a little bit at different stretches where we took on a little water, which we knew we would. But I thought we stayed pretty good to our structure and gave ourselves a chance. And obviously the PP goals really pushed us to get the result we were looking for.
Jack?
Roman had a 3-point night tonight. It was his first multi-point night since, I believe, the end of the 2024 season. What does that say about his game here where he's been able to kind of battle through stuff, find a little bit more offense, and just does that embody just, I guess, the tenacity the team has had this year and just the fight as well? Yeah,
I think it just epitomizes a little bit of the group where, keep hanging around, hanging in games, sticking together. And Roman, I don't think there's any secret what our record is when he's in the lineup. He's a big part, even though he's not on the score sheet, with his leadership and obviously the way he plays. So I was happy to see him, get one of his signature goals with the one-timer on the power play. I think he felt pretty good about that. And, without Roman, you saw the record when he's not in it. So we need Roman.
Not the easiest role for Anand, but the way he's played for you guys, particularly as of late, how big has that been for your group trying to capture and maintain some of this momentum here?
Yeah, I think I spoke about it a little bit earlier. It's hard when you only get in. He's in a little bit better rotation in all these games. You feel for him a little bit early in the year because just how training camp kind of ends. The little juice gets the last game. He probably hasn't played for a week, and he doesn't play for 2 weeks, and you throw him into a game. And regular season's way different than playing half an American League team in a exhibition game. So you got a little bit of grace for him the first couple of starts, and now he's gotten a little bit better rhythm. You could tell he's feeling a lot better, especially his last, 5 starts. I think he's been exceptional. I thought he was exceptional. He tracked the puck. I thought he read the play really well tonight, and then obviously used his gifts of of his size and natural athletic ability to make some saves. So you're really happy when that happens. He's a great teammate. He comes to work every day, and he's getting better every game, feels like.
To go back to Roman for a second, how close do you think he is to being the player he was 2 years ago before all the health issues and the injuries piled up?
Well, I always think he's special. Sometimes the numbers or what we want to see doesn't really quite match up to what our expectations are of him. But you see nights like tonight, he's a driving force for our team. And I think missing the time last year and then his injury this year, I still think he's still getting the flow of his game. He'll continue to improve, and he's a big part of what we're doing here.
Back to Jack.
It's not ideal to go down 1-0 early in the game here, but I mean that's been happening a little bit consistently. But I mean, has the team developed, I guess, a comfort in battling back a little bit more and beating in that battling sense?
I think as the season went on, I think we're much more comfortable being a little bit uncomfortable. Obviously, we don't like falling behind. We've talked about this to nauseam a little bit. By the way, I mean, it was a heck of a shot by Ovechkin, and then to see Stammer do it in the same game is pretty cool. I mean, that's about, 1,500 goals, regular season goals, who knows how many, and for them to hit at the same spot, probably the two greatest goal scorers of our generation, or at least the past 20 years, and to have them do it in the same night, in the same building, on the same ice, I think is pretty special. It's a treat for anybody that was able to watch this game today, because I don't know if it'll ever happen again with that many goals, scoring in the same spot, the same kind of place ever. But to answer your question, I think a little bit speaks to the resilience of our group that we've built up. We've gone through stuff together. I've said this a little while. I don't know if we've ever been tighter, and we continue. Nights like tonight grows that tightness. And we know we got a lot of work ahead. We know we're not perfect, but we will rebound. We're going to hang in there, and we're going to give it our best. And as a coach, that's all you can ask for. We got a big challenge coming Tuesday. Enjoy this one and get ready, because we all know how these games go. Very similar to tonight. We're in these games they're tight and the margins are slim, and you don't know which way it's going to swing. And it's been swaying our way. It didn't sway last night, swayed tonight. And there's a belief in that group that if we do the things that allow us to be successful, we're going to give ourselves a good chance.